Alright, take two. Because I had my headphones set up to headset, so I had no mic for the entire thing. I made a 24-minute video for nothing. Alright, let's talk about GrimaF and then the legendary banner, then. Fuck, I am such a dumbass. Alright, so. GrimaF. She's a colorless. That much is certain. 30 def, 25 rest, 35 speed, 32 attack, 40 HP with a 16 might lightning breath with no drawback. Right, that sounds good on paper, but here's two things you kind of want to realize about GrimaF. She's colorless, and she's very similar to Corin F stat-wise. Now, Corin F and she are both fucked by Naga. There's no way for them to actually tank too well, which is kind of funny. Unless you like run a Ward Emblem team, they both are going to get fucked even by Durdry, not even Juliet, Durdry. So, yeah. What can I say? Also, sorry, but I'm going to sound sick in this video because I am. I'm still coming off a cold. I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can because the first time I already did this, my voice has been fucked over basically already, so I kind of don't want to lose my voice, so I might be skipping a bit of details. Hopefully not. We'll see. Alright, Rest Smoke. It's a good skill, but it feels like it's kind of pointless in the end of a dragon, since they target Def and Res. It feels like most of the time, the only things that are really a problem are polarized in a way. Like, oh look, it's a res tank. Well, it's gonna hit this def. Oh look, it's a def tank. Well, you're already hitting his res, so there's no real point for res smoke unless you're dealing with someone that has mixed bulk, which feels kind of pointless. Cancer Affinity is not bad, but Blaraven tomes are not exactly common in Arena either. Unless you're like really low in score, and by the way, I realize this, but whenever I say low in score, I mean 720 or less, and high in score, I mean 720 and more. I'm pointing this out because there's a huge difference between the two. In 720 and less, you actually see Horse Emblem. Sometimes, it's very rare, but you do. And you tend to see Reinhardt. Though, if you're like from 710 to 720, you see him at up to +10. In which case, it's good to keep in mind, but whatever. If you're 720 or more, it's usually Armor Unit and Dragon Unit. Alright? And obviously Falchion and Armor Slayers, because it's basically the meta. So, she's basically Corin F. I know I pointed that out before, but she's basically a flying Corin F. Corin F is definitely not bad, but they both get killed by, obviously, Divine Naga, as I said before. Now, the thing that matters, though, is the fact that Corin F can tank Falchions. Not so much all at times, but she can actually, if built right. Because she can break the 50 def with color advantage. And yeah, she's fast, just like Grima. Wow. Except, like I said, Grima gets one shot by Falchion. Corin F has a chance of tanking Falchions. That's the big difference here. And the fact that she's a flyer gives her an extra weakness, though dragons can alleviate that with absolutely no problem. Now, while I say this, I do kind of want to point out one thing. Exploration is a great breath, but as sad as this might sound for me to say, it might be a good idea to run Lightning Breath. The reason why I say this is because that way she gets 5 more HP and 4 more res. You can actually tank Naga with this. Falchions are absolutely impossible for the most part. So, well, I guess if you build on her def, she might be able to take 1 or 2 fortunes, but it's ultimately futile because any fortune with a decent amount of attack, especially Crom, will just destroy her to oblivion. Just like that night where they made fucking Morgan. Anyway, so yeah, it's Lightning Breath might be a good idea if you want just a bit more bulk to deal with Naga, because as it stands, you have 65 magic bulk. Okay, so take a neutral Deirdre, right? Sorry. Take a neutral Deirdre. She has 33 attack, 47 because of Naga, and then 50 with Fury. That's 75 attack potency on fucking Robin. Robin gets one shot. And that's not even like the deathly build of Deirdre, and I say deathly in quotation mark because Deirdre is not exactly a deadly character, especially now that dragons got their buff, but yeah. Bonfire is definitely a good skill on her. Dragon Skin is really good. It does replace Iode's Shield, and you might think, that's so underwhelming, why would I even bother with this? Blah. And it's like, you don't really have a choice. It's basically Bracing Stance 2. It's your best bet in particular against everything, especially archers and mages, and basically everything, because it's basically Close Def and DD3 fused together at a lesser level, obviously. And you don't lose your S slot to Iode's Shield, so you can run something else. It's basically your best ace slot, in my opinion. Especially if you're talking about high-level arena. Because Bravelyn exists, and despite you being out of Horse Hell, sometimes Bravelyn appears because she just have boosted BST out of her ass. And she also has a 300 SP B slot, so yeah. And honestly, if you have Dragon Skin, Bravelyn can do shit to you and you'll always one-shot her. Well, no, you don't one-shot her, unless you're buffed. You won't one-shot her. Or attack plus with like something buffing your attack. So, she's not bad, but like I said, Koridef is better to deal with fortunes, and honestly, I don't see the point of her. Myr is still better when it comes down to a guidance user. You can use guidance with Iode as your S slot and guidance as your C slot. It's more expensive though. So, obviously, Robin can be better. Also, before someone point out, oh, Steady Breath. Steady Breath cannot be learned by flyers. She's a flyer. Same for Myr. They can't use it. Now, while DC Myr, in my opinion, is completely better than Robin, Robin is a bit cheaper to build. And that's basically really what it boils down to, because, yeah, it's just that. There's really not much to say about it. I guess I should probably switch to the banner itself. Honestly, Robin is not great, but not awful either. It's basically, if you like the character, pull for her. That's basically what it is. Would I use her? Probably just to max her HM. Would I summon for her? Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. But there's something I will point out when switching to the legendary banner, which I should do right now, actually. Alright, legendary banners. They're awful. That's the first thing that comes to mind, and really, they are. They are some of the worst fucking banners I've ever seen. But it is what it is, right? So. Sorry. If summoning from green, you have Guntra, which is a Nino on a horse, extremely underrated. People seem to think that Blizzard is our only set, but no. Groundblade is her best set, and she can almost break the 50 speed if you have speed plus. Now, getting the good Ivy is the problem here. But since there's no horse cav, available at 3 to 4 that has this good a spread, then yeah, she is the best green tome cav in my opinion. No questions asked. Summer release is basically there for Green Tome Valor. If you want Green Tome Valor, definitely go for her, because that's basically going to be your only chance for like a year, most likely. Summer Tiki, that's actually the one character I will be aiming for on this banner. I just hope I won't get fucked by the other two too much. Though Guntra I'm fine with getting merges off. Halloween Naui is probably the best thing to pull from red, because Zelgus is still in the pool, Ike is going to stay in the pool, and even if there's a new red legendary hero, it's just going to alternate between Ike and said legendary hero. So it doesn't exactly matter too much. Zelgus again is in the pool, and well, if you get him and you want him while going for Naui, then yay. Otherwise, then just wait for him to be on another banner. He was already in the banner like recently. Halloween Naui is a monster when it comes down to Flyer Emblem team. One of the best thing about her is the Flyer Infernal GHB quests. Naui is almost instrumental in a ton of those. Like, I've cleared all of them. No questions asked. I had no problem whatsoever, but that's mainly because I had Naui with DD3 able to just be like, ooh, a mage! It's dead! Every time. So, I didn't struggle too much. But I can tell, like, people that did have Naui were struggling to fuck. And it makes sense. Honestly, red is one of the best color of this banner, if you want to summon. Green is also one of the best, but for a different reason. It's just a bunch of Valor skill. If you don't have Valor skills, oh my god, you are missing out. They are absolutely amazing. Alright, moving to colorless. Sakura, I feel actually really bad for people that summon her to +10. Because the month where she came out, she wasn't bad. She was actually really good. She was able to deal with most of Horse Emblem. Especially now, like, if you could give her dual ranged now, well, back then, she would be literally unstoppable. The one problem she had were Blade Tome units, because Blade Tome units were just like, I don't care about you having 40 fucking res, I end up with 80 attack. Huh? Who cares? It's like, alright, but with dual range you negate Blade Tome, so she would have been a fantastic unit back then with dual range. Now though, and also dragons were targeting res back then, so again, they were amazing. But now, like literally I think a month after, or a month or two, it's like, oh, by the way, we're making so dragon target death instead. So she gets one shot. In high level arena, she's basically useless. And in low level, well, dual range was still not a thing, so Blade Tome were just destroying her. Yay. Fucking yay. And it sucks, because I actually did like using her for the little time I had to use her for. That said, she does have one skill that is interesting, and that's Dagger Valor. Obviously, Dagger Valor is really useful. I don't think I have to explain why, considering daggers suck at killing anything, for the most part, until you refine the weapon. Robin, I already explained all I had to say about Robin. I feel like she's just kind of underwhelming. I did guess most of her stats right. I guessed her death, her HP, her attack, and I was more or less right about her res. Her speed, I was completely off though. So, yay. Fjorm, probably the most underwhelming DC unit of the game right now. Purely because her speed is so bad. She has good bulk. She has a very underwhelming attack. Her speed is the biggest problem though. And while it's true you can get her speed decent, and you can make her really good, the main thing that makes her really good is the fact that she uses every stat you get from merge. So, unless you have a plus 10 of her, she kinda sucks. Because her def is above average, her res is above average, her speed is very below average, her attack is very below average, and her HP is below average as well. Because you can't refine a weapon. So she ends up with 39 HP in a world where 45 HP is the norm. Yay. And I mean the norm, but if you're talking about high level arena, whew, that shoots up to 55. It's so fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb. So yeah, her HP, she's always prone to panic ploy. She is always struggling to do damage. She's always struggling to kill in a manner that's so focused on killing units. She has no attack, no speed. Great. That's really saving her right there. Like, seriously? We thought this was a good idea. Anyway, enough shitting on Fjorm. Like I said, she's part of the, like, Roy gang. You know, characters that if you use as a 5-star on merge, they're fucking underwhelming as shit. But if you merge them to plus 10, boy, they're good. And yes, I know every unit becomes good at plus 10, but especially them. They go from basically like, okay, Roy, for example. Roy is a shitty character. Well, shitty unit especially, but not really a good character either. Anyway, so say you have a unmerged Roy. That's like B tier. But if you have a plus 10 Roy, he just jumps to A plus tier comparatively to other plus 10. It's actually insane because his def and res are not great, but he can use everything the merge gives him in def and res, everything the merge gives him in HP, and everything the merge gives him in attack and speed. So he's a lot like Pella, and my Pella is really good. But Pella is actually probably the best example I can give you. Like, Pella is like 30 across the board or so. You don't expect her to be really good, right? But the fact that she has access to flyer buff, the fact that she's access to 4-star plus 10 easily, means... Okay, for my 4-star plus 10 Pella ends up hitting 45 HP, 56 attack, 51 speed, 38 def, and 37 res. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. You wouldn't believe, seeing her base stat, that this is her potential. She's really fucking good. It's the same concept with Fjorm, but she's on the legendary banner! So all I said is basically thrown in the hash because summoning for plus 10 is not worth it, ever. Loot. I feel like it's basically a worse Delphia. And it's also a worse Lind. The main reason why I point that out is both of their set of the best set Delphia and Lind runs Blade Tome. And if you run Blade Tome on Loot, you lose the 3 speed from her Tome, meaning your stat line becomes 36-32, and you become worse than Delphia and Lind on that regard. Now, her Tome is not awful, but I feel like unless it nerfs res and speed by 5, it feels kind of underwhelming. I understand that res ploy is her C-slot. I understand that, but I feel like if it was built in a weapon, she would not be so underwhelming. Honestly, it makes me feel kind of sad, the fact that she's stuck to 5-star when she's so underwhelming. Seriously, what the fuck? What is wrong with those people? It's like Owen being 5-star while Reinhardt is 4. Hello? Anyway, Brave Lucina, I still consider her to be the best buffer. Especially in the future, once we'll probably get like a attack or speed drive seal. Because then she'll be able to buff both attack and speed by 6 for Brave Weapon user, which is insane by itself. But like 6 attack and 6 speed on Brave Bows is insane. I feel like people don't fucking understand how insane that is. There is a reason why I still use Brave Lucina to this day, and that's basically that. And yes, Ephraim is a good buffer, but Ephraim is a Blade Tome buffer, not Brave Weapon buffer. Because Brave Weapon buffer, like, Brave Lucina's buff stacks on top of own attack. So you can buff by like 10 attack and like 3 speed. Well, 7 speed with own speed as well. Which is insane. Can't do that with Ephraim. Ah, sorry. But yeah, like, she's really good. Sorry about that. If I'm talking about color to summon on, I'd say green for Valor. I'd say red for Naui. Blue is... don't fucking do it. Like, I know I said Brave Lucina is great, but the other two are awful. Kinda. And I feel like Brave Lucina will come back at one point again, because this is the second time she comes back on this banner. On this Legendary Hero banner. So yeah, colorless, if you really need Dagger Valor, yeah, sure, go for it. But I will point out something. Next month, we'll most likely get more Trick or Defeat characters. We've got Sakura, we've got Naui. What is left? Henry, and what's his face? Jacob. Jacob is honestly tied to Bravelyn as one of the best bow unit this game has. Period. Alright? And I don't mean that as a joke. He's actually really, really good. And he's going to be colorless, obviously. And it's most likely going to be next month. So if you really like GrimaF, and you really want to not feel like you're wasting your orbs, wait next month. That's my tip for that, because then you have Robin and Jacob on the same banner, which means you have good hopes of actually getting what you want. You actually have good hopes of like getting like one unit that's good, because like 2 out of 3 will be good. Now the other colorless, I have no fucking clue what it's gonna be. I have no fucking clue what it's gonna be. But oh well, we'll see, I suppose. I think that basically sums it up. Just understand that legendary banners are not great overall. If you really want new units and you already have one of the 3 units, you're better off just summoning on the actual banners that are up. Like, okay, the spring banner is not amazing, but Kagero and Alphonse are really good units. Sharina not so much. Katria is really good as well. And see, here's the thing. Katria does not share color, but she has better stats than Guntra as a Blade Tome. Yeah. Well, except on the bulk aspect. My Guntra is actually not bad in bulk aspect, and I'm glad I got a res minus because of dragons. But still, like, fucking hell. It's insane. So, yeah. I think that about sums it up, really. I don't think there's anything you can really add here. So, yeah. If you're a new player, by the way, if you're a new player, green and red should be your focus. Colorless and blue should not. Period. Because green has Guntra, which is one of the best green mage in my opinion. I do consider her to be a bit better than Nino, especially for PvE content. But more importantly, you also get Valor skills, which are very vital to leveling up unit fast. You also have, from red, you have Zelgius, which is literally the best red unit. I do love Ira, but sorry, Zelgius is just that fucking good. And now he is extremely useful if you're a new player. Extremely fucking useful. Ike is, well, you get him for free, so who the fuck cares, really, right? I think that about sums it up. So I'm going to actually stop here and actually end the video so I can actually cough without feeling like shit every time. I'll see you guys later.